Okay, so you've already seen the time lapse, and now I'm going to break this down for you. First things first, let's turn off all of the layers. Okay, so the first thing that I did was doing the rough sketch. So you can see here, it's pretty rough. And then after I did the sketch, I just lower the opacity, make a new layer on top, and clean the drawing. You can see, I only cleaned the girl for this one because I already know in the background what I want to do. So I just stay with the rough and I go ahead and start with the color. I have one solid layer just for the sky, and then I make another layer for the buildings in the back. I keep everything in one layer because I know in the end, as you can see here, I'm going to blur it anyway, so I don't have to put a lot of detail. And then after that, I make another layer for the plants, but just the greens. And then after that, I did the trunk of the palm tree. I try to always separate the layers based on what they are. For example, like the plants, I combine the palm leaves and the grasses in the same layers because they're not connected and I can just select it. And then I make another layer on top of that for the fence. And this one also I keep it in the same layer with the shadow and everything because I know I'm gonna blur it. And then I make another layer for the water. Then another layer for the rock. When I do the background, I don't really like to have a lot of layers because they're hard to keep track of. So I just want to always keep one layer for one object if possible. And then I have the stairs here and side walls. As you can see, if you zoom in, the stairs is literally just one color, the light brown, and I just block it with the darker brown. And then I just shade it a little bit with the same color as this dark brown. So it's pretty simple. And if you notice for the background, I try to vary the blurs. For example, the buildings like all the way to the back is more blurred than the grass and the fence. And the grass is a little bit more blurred than the fence, and then the fence is blurred and the water is also blurred, but like you don't want to blur it too much that you can't see anything. And I want this wall to be more blurred than the stairs because it's closer to you, so it's a nice frame. And then I just blur the stair a little bit. So yeah, if you're blurring your drawing, your background, make sure you have different levels of blur. If not, everything is just gonna be a big blob of blurs. And then after I did all of this, in Procreate you cannot really make a new layer and do the clipping mask on top of a group. So I will just merge. I will just normally duplicate and merge the whole thing like this. So I just duplicate it and flatten it so you have a new layer with everything. And this is where I normally go ahead and do the color balance like that, and do the adjustment layers. I do it on this one layer, but if I don't like it, I can always just go back and then do it one more time. So that's what I did here on this layer. I call it the peachy merge. And then as you can see, the color changes here because this is the kind of like feeling that I want. And then after that, I make a new layer and just put the color pink like this. As you can see, it's just a pink. And then I put it on top of the merge layer, put it on add with 38 opacity, so it's not that strong, because if you put it on 100, you can't see anything. So I just put it on 38, and as you can see, it gives that like pink kind of like filter. And then after that, I make another layer and I use this yellow right here for adding a bit more glow. As you can see, like, it's okay if you can't really see here what's going on, because I'm gonna put the girl here anyway, just like the rough. For this one, I put it on overlay on 70% opacity. So it adds that glow, but not on the side, just in the middle, with just a normal soft brush. And then after that, I bring up the clean layer of the girl, and I lower the opacity. Oh, and for mine, I clean up the line art. It's not that clean because it's okay, I'm not gonna use it in the end, it's just for a guide. So I just lower the opacity. And then I start with the skin. As you can see, the skin is pretty messy because I don't really care about the edges unless it's where she's gonna be in the, like, next to the water. But when it comes to like next to the clothes and hair, I just color it like pretty messy because it's gonna be in the bottom of the layers anyway. And I do all the shadings and everything in just this one layer. And then after that, I make a new layer for the skirt. See, so you can see that it was pretty messy. So you can see that it was pretty messy for the skin, but once you put the skirt, you don't see that mess, because the skirt is going to be on top of the skin layer. And then for the skirt, all the shadings and everything is also on the same layer. And then same with the shirt. For example, the shirt, I only give her one strap because I know on this side it's gonna be covered with her hair. So sometimes you just have to color the parts that is necessary, and it will save you sometimes, even if it's like not a big deal, but it saves you a few seconds of your life. So yeah, and then after that, I make a new layer for the face. In this layer, it's everything that's with is going to make a new layer for the face. And on this layer, I have the eyes, eyebrows, and mouth. As you can see here, I keep everything also in the same layer. And then you can see for the eyes and mouth and everything is just one solid color. So I don't do any shadings on the face. make a new layer on top of that for the hair. And as you can see here, it doesn't matter if your skin layer is really messy, because in the end you're not gonna see that anyway. And then one layer just for the earring. So now we have the girl. But then for the girl, I wanted to do some adjustment on the colors too. So I do the same thing, I just duplicate it and flatten it. You can see, like you have the girl in one layer, and then you can just do the color balance on the girl. So that's what I have here. And I changed the color a little bit, more saturated and more reddish. And then I created a layer mask, which you can do here. You just click this, and then, you can just click any layer and then you just click mask. You see? So that's what I did here. And I created this layer mask because I don't really like this side of her hair, so I deleted that. As you can see, I deleted that, and then I make a new layer for the effects, and it's the same as with add, and then the opacity and 27, and the color is muddy yellow. It's around here. It's this color, and I just put it on clipping mask so it stays inside the character and not on the background. And then I made another one for the glow with the same yellow, this one, and then put it on overlay on 71%, and it's only on the side, on the edges of the character, to blend her more with the background. And then I did the same with the layer mask, just to clean up some parts that I don't want the light to hit her. And then I created a new layer with the same pink, kind of like this, but a bit more orangey, and also put it on add and 12%, and then put it on her. It doesn't make a huge difference, but it has a little bit of difference. And then yeah, that's about everything. And then I made a noise layer. As you can see, now it's pretty clear. And then if I turn this on, it has some kind of noise in it, so it feels more kind of like a classical animation style. So yeah, I like to add that. And it's just a plain gray, and then I put it on soft light on full opacity, and I just, so it's a plain gray like this, and I go to noise and then just drag it like somewhere here, you can see, and then just put it on soft light, so it doesn't change the color, but it just adds some noise. That's what I like to do. And then after that, just add the watermark. And that's everything. I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye!